Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. It is happy hour. And if happiness for you resides inside a bottle of your favorite wine, well, I think you're going to be pretty friggin' happy here because we have the two stars of Wine Nation on Fox Nation who are also superstars in their own sectors of the world. Kix Brooks and Adam LaZarre join me now. Welcome, gentlemen, to Kennedy Saves the World.
Thanks. Can't believe you'd have us.
Holy
man.
Hot dogs.
Who canceled?
In a bottle. I'm super excited you guys are here because I've heard so much about the Fox News American Wine Club.
Yeah.
We were talking about it on the 5 the other night, and I know people who are maybe really familiar with wines, they can join the club and be delighted, and people who are new to the world of connoisseurship, they can also get on board and have some absolute delights. So you're both vintners in your own right.
That is correct.
Yes. So you are the CEO of LaZarre Wines.
Yeah, well, I'm in charge of it, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just promoted you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay.
And you own Arrington Vineyards.
Correct.
And that's in Texas?
That's in Tennessee.
That's what I said. T-E-N-N-E-S-S-E-E.
It's like
Tennessee.
Texas. It's just in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
I love Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Good music and whatever.
Yeah.
You know that.
Oh.
And good wine, right?
So
And,
tell me about the Tennessee wine, because you think whiskey when you
Yeah.
think of Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, if you can bottle whiskey, why can't you do the same thing with wine? Do you have a good climate for it?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of generally of Cabernet and Merlot and Riesling and wines like that, you got to be where he's at.
Yeah, he's in Northern California.
Central Coast of California.
Central-
Exactly
yeah.
right. Central Coast.
That
A
was what you
very
said.
important distinction.
Yes.
Yes.
5
That
hours.
air coming off the ocean over there is very helpful for certain varietals.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. And what we really have that hurts us the most, I think, is warm nights. So
Oh,
a lot of those
interesting.
varieties like to rest at night, and they really can't do it when they're ginning all the time. A lot of those flavors get lost, I think.
So what do you grow there?
We grow somewhat, Vidal Blanc Viognier, you're probably familiar with, is popular. And a red grape that we use a lot is called Chamberson, which we might have brought you a sample of today.
Well, I think we should sample some of the wines. Can you show me what we have here, Adam?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's start with Kix wine right here. Do you
Oh,
want
that's beautiful.
to talk about it here?
Yes, so that's actually a wine that starts in French oak. The Chamberson does, and that's what it is primarily. It might have a slight blend to it. But then it gets put in some used whiskey barrels, like to finish off.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because as we know, bourbon barrels are single use. So when they cast them off, I know there are other spirits makers who love the flavor that comes from a good bourbon barrel.
Look at the whiskey expert over here.
Yes, I heard
Yeah.
that you're a big bourbon fanatic. So
I love bourbon.
Yeah.
Good,
I'm a fan.
same.
So I'm from Oregon, where they're famous for Pinot Noir.
Right.
And I would argue that Oregon makes the best Pinot Noir in the world. French people don't like to hear that.
Yeah, you know what? I made wine in Oregon for quite a long time.
Oh, really?
Washington and Oregon had a very popular Northwest brand, and I would argue that they're very good.
Yes.
They're excellent. I think some of the best Oregon Pinot Noirs are amongst the best Pinots in the world.
Yes.
So I would agree with that.
High five.
It's a little more difficult because the weather isn't so consistent there, as you know.
Yes.
So in the event that they have fires, like they did in 2020, oftentimes you look to places like the Russian River.
Very consistent.
Where I love to make Pinot Noir is the Santa Maria Valley. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Yes, and great strawberries there too.
Great strawberries, yeah.
So tell me about this. What am I going to taste when you fill up my cup of goodness?
Well, it's interesting because people say different things, especially when they find out there was a whiskey barrel involved. I don't.
Are they skeptical? Are the wine snobs skeptical?
To some extent, but I think also in reality, if you're drinking wine, you need to let your palate decide if you like something or not.
Exactly.
Sort of like when you listen to music, you
Yes.
know, it's like, okay.
Don't tell me what's cool.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly. Thank
listen
you.
and see if I like it and if it resonates with me.
Exactly, and that's what I always tell people at a tasting bar. And we make 18 different kinds of wine at Harrington. So
Nice.
it's a great opportunity from some fruit wines that are just kind of fun and whatever, to a couple of nice Cabernets and Merlot and whatever. Again, we have to bring that fruit in because we can't grow it. But that's really, I've got an expert here who can tell you a lot more about that. But a lot we were just discussing earlier, and he's I wouldn't say a totally rare exception, but pretty much, because I would say most winemakers aren't necessarily farmers.
Yeah. Interesting.
They have to source their fruit somewhere else. And that was kind of our ambition. It's like, I just want to have a winery where we make great wine. So in a cooler truck, we go out to California and we talk to growers out there and whatever, and get the best fruit that we can, that we can't grow, that we want to make wine with. And we put it on cooler trucks, mostly on
How many trucks do you have to fill up?
Well, we just do them like one at a time. They come in these, a semi with 800-pound bins in it.
Wow.
That's a lot of work that you've got to do when they get to Nashville. You got to crush those grapes. You got to make that wine. You got to bottle that wine. And then we get it out to our people. And we might park.
How long do they sit in the oak barrels?
In the oak barrels, that they start in, like the French oak? Like,
or whatever
a year and a
oak
half
is,
to 2, but then maybe 6 months or a little less in the whiskey barrels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what is it about the whiskey that accelerates the process?
It doesn't accelerate it, it just adds something to it.
Yeah.
And again, that's where, like my wife said, she can taste the bourbon in there. I don't really.
Will I taste bourbon in here?
Well, you tell me.
Okay. Can I pour? You pour. You're the man.
I'm the man.
There you go.
Let's give it a good sniff. And I have to spin it around, act like I know what I'm doing.
You're doing good.
You're
Yeah.
you're doing
I know you're
just fine.
supposed to hold it here if you want to look like, and then
You have to hold it there if you want to get it to your mouth.
that's true. I mean, but I would be like, no, I wouldn't. That's not ladylike.
Get a crazy straw.
Oh, it smells good. Let's see if she has legs. I can't tell. Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do taste a little bit, and I do not have a palate. I can't taste cassis and raspberry and resentment, like the things that people who claim to have really advanced palates, I can't taste any of that stuff.
That comes with practice, and I've been doing this 34 years now. After I got out of the service, I went to Fresno State
You are a
University.
Navy veteran.
I'm a Navy veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And it's been fun. We had just had Veterans Day, and I've been able to do a lot of veterans-related stuff and a few things for this network also, which has been really fun. But like anything, it takes practice. And you have this catalog in your brain that you have to. I think you need to lose things like birthdays and numbers and just your wife's name, things like that. Have to go wait for you to
make
start
some room.
Make room for flavors and smells.
Okay.
And you over a period of time, if you really love what you do, and I love what I do, you start to catalog these things.
Okay.
Intuitively. You don't
That's
even
really
think about
interesting. Like the idea of remembering.
Yeah.
Taste. It seems like it would be easier to remember a fragrance, but remembering a taste seems weird to me.
I can remember a bottle of wine I had 15 years ago.
Wow.
The smell and flavor. But again, that doesn't come naturally. It just comes with
That's
practice. Like
cultivated.
anything you do. You gotta become, if you're going to become an expert at something, you really have to practice at it.
So you guys have also partnered with U.S. Vets, which is wonderful. I was at Marine Corps birthday celebration, the 10th of November, and I got to hear Stephen Peck speak. So he was a Marine and a Vietnam veteran who, he's Gregory Peck's son. So he could have lived like a pretty easy Nepo baby life. And instead he threw himself into the cause of veteran homelessness. And it has made it his life's work through U.S. Vets to end and, drastically curtail the tens of thousands of homeless veterans we have on the streets in this country. And it was really amazing to hear how he had poured himself into the cause and gotten to know so many people and hear their stories. And it's such a wonderful organization. So, that's really an amazing thing that you have partnered with them.
One of the reasons actually I'm doing this is because of the work, we're with the Fox News American Wine Club, and a portion of those proceeds go to U.S. Vets. And so anything that I can give back, I'm sure he agrees, to help the people who've pretty much sacrificed. When you go in the military, you don't come out unchanged. And,
especially when you go into combat.
and you go, but for the most part, the change, the positive, maybe more discipline, self-esteem, skills, the ability to work with a team. But there are a lot of other things that can happen too, and especially people who've been involved in combat.
Yeah.
And so we see that, and I work with some organizations back in Paso Robles for vets, and so it makes me proud, and I really appreciate the fact that Fox News Wine Club has offered to do this with the vets. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. And tell me how your wine works into the wine club, because people know you, Kix Brooks. Half of Brooks and Dunn, these songs that resonate in their soul forever, and that's what good songwriting and good performances do. But they actually they get to taste the fruits of your labor and creativity.
Well, I can't take a lot of credit for the creativity because I'm not technically making the wine. But I have been there since day one.
But you share the vibe. You got a great vibe.
On my knees putting grapes roots in the ground. Literally, I have been involved, but also I know where my expertise isn't, and I wanted to have great wine. So the hillbilly singer doesn't need to come in and start screwing everything up. So I've been blessed with some guys who really know what they're doing, and I'm very interested in winemaking and how it works and everything. But I still let them do their thing. So
how long have you been into wine?
I'm from Louisiana, so I started drinking at a very early age. I think Tim McGraw and Faith Hill gave me a wine club gift one year where we got.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, where we got 2 bottles from a different country every month.
Wow.
Yeah, and I caught myself drinking and cooking with this thing from Bordeaux called Lafayette Rothschild, and so I went.
I'm not
it
sure
was
that's
so
taken.
good.
It's like $2 Chuck. I think you can get that at Costco.
I went
I'm
to
going to trademark that right now.
Yes,
Lafayette.
exactly.
Rothschild.
So I went to buy some, and along with my other spirits that I had picked up that day, I told him I wanted a case of that. He said, "Well, we might have 2 or 3 bottles in the back, but we don't have a case of it." Okay, well, whatever you got. And,
Yeah, I got a lasagna at home I got to make. That sauce is going to make itself.
when I saw the bill, I went, "What? I think we have a decimal place screwed up here. Maybe you should take that Lafayette back, and I need to do some homework here."
Can I just take the grapes and make it wine myself? Would that be cheaper?
But I really did at that point. I started learning more about it, and we do have a lot of wine collectors in Nashville and the area.
Oh, cool.
We have the oldest auction for cancer for anything in the country there, Tate Event, and so yeah, that's. I got into it. I met a lot of people that had great sellers and were very generous about helping me learn. So.
Oh, that's amazing. And you hear so much about Nashville and the community and the songwriters. Is it as tight as we hear, as we make it out to be in this American mythology?
What do you mean tight?
The community of people, is it as tight knit and as close?
Yes, I mean it is. There's, it's really spread out, and it changes rapidly.
Yeah.
As far as, I started writing in Nashville in 1980. I think I started having success a couple of years after that, and through the 80s. That's really pretty much all I did. I had a record deal at Capitol, didn't amount to anything, and it wasn't until 90 that a record company guy introduced me to Ronnie Dunn, and we screwed up and started having some hits.
Yeah, you did. It was like one after another.
It was weird though. We met on a Tuesday and wrote Brand New Man and Next Broken Heart the same week.
Wow.
And he'd already written Neon Moon and Boot Scootin' Boogie, and next thing you know, we're riding a bus.
And that kicked off the line dancing craze.
I know. We'll get everyone therapy for that. I'm sorry.
Are you the reason we have Billy Ray Cyrus?
I don't think so.
That's a funny question, actually.
We happened really at the same time, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally the same year.
So where was country in terms of, the national awareness and conversation when you started writing?
Where was it? It was Garth had just started. Alan Jackson was into his second hit. That thing that was really going to blow up in the 90s, they had just, Clint Black had a big record.
Yep.
They were kind of the three that I can think of off the top of my head leading the charge. Reba and Strait were a few years before that, but just a few. They were all obviously part of the groundwork that sort of kicked things into a whole different gear in the 90s.
And who was it, like, influence-wise for you that really solidified the kind of songwriter that you wanted to be?
I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, which is more on the Texas side.
Okay.
So I was, and I definitely was influenced by being in Shreveport. That was Louisiana Hayride. So
cool.
Hank Williams and Johnny Horton. Hank Williams, his widow was Audrey, but he married Billie Jean Horton, who lived like 2 blocks from us.
Cool.
And Johnny Horton did too. So it was very much a part of our world there. But the songwriters, Willie and Waylon, when they hit that whole thing coming out of Austin, that's where my pencil got sharp. And I just wanted to write those great story songs and those tales, and it was just a little different than, it was somewhere between Nashville and California. It was really songsmithing and cool melodies and just a lot of,
and those lyrics that just got you.
Yeah, and a lot of hell raising, which I was in college at the time, and I wanted all of it.
Where'd you go to college?
Well, I started at SMU, but my dad wouldn't buy me a Ferrari, so I couldn't get a date. I wound up back at Louisiana Tech, where me and Terry Bradshaw went, and Carl Malone, and loved
the mailman.
The mailman, exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
Is there as much creativity that goes and emotion that goes into wine? Like, do you sing to your grapes?
You want the leaves to fall off the vine, yeah. I actually do. I play a lot of music in the winery. I do believe that music can influence the direction that wines take.
I agree completely.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly impacts your ability
obviously, like, there is, truth in wine or whatever they say. Yeah. But there's also, if there's truth, there's also emotion.
Right.
So, and if there's remote emotion, then there are receptacles. Mm-hmm. And they can feel something on some level.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just how you perceive wine. I mean, there's been plenty of studies which show certain types of music do better with makes wines taste a certain way, for example.
Yeah.
For me, I just absolutely adore music, and I adore winemaking. It's nothing. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Does kids ever sing to you when you guys are
all the time? It's
out on the road?
Yeah, it's just getting. Hey. So in the winery, I play music.
Nice.
It's usually rock and roll. Sometimes it's heavy metal. We find that.
I know you're a Slayer fan.
Well, I love all good music, but I particularly this is the stuff that I listen to when I'm in the winery or at the gym. When I play music in the winery, sometimes I'll start with Mozart. I really do think though it impacts the ability, what types of flavors that you pick up and stuff. I think one of the studies I saw showed that Sauvignon Blanc tastes better when you're listening to Metallica rather than Vivaldi, for example.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it triggers various things. What you brought up was actually very interesting, and it is true.
Yes.
I believe it is. But yeah, so I mean, being in the winery is just, my sanctuary. And
I love the idea of, because we always talk about food pairings with wine.
Yeah.
And we talk about food, we talk about cheese, but music pairings with wine. That is the coolest idea.
Yeah.
I mean, truly. Like, I think that's something that you guys could author a suggested list for the American Wine Club, for the Fox News American Wine Club. So when people get them, it's like, listen to these 5 songs when you're drinking a glass of this, and ask people, does it enhance your experience? Yes.
Yeah, does it taste different? Do you pick up the bourbon in this?
Let's give this little guy a whirl.
The cherry. This is my Pinot Noir.
I love Pinot Noir. As discussed earlier.
Okay. You should, I'll do the country pairings, and you do the rock pairings.
How great would that be?
That would be.
I would love that.
Probably a dream of mine to be.
Wouldn't that be fun? Let's do that.
Right.
You should totally do that.
I think that would be fantastic.
Yes, I mean, it's like all the great pillars of your worlds coming together. It's like music, service, wine, people. all in one place so people can have a multisensory, complete experience.
Yeah, I think people would be surprised at how much different that certain music impacts wines, flavors, and smells.
I can't wait to experiment with that.
Okay, so this is Pinot Noir from the Santa Maria Valley, and if I know you're familiar with the Santa Maria Valley because of strawberries, but the Santa Maria Valley is one of the only valleys in California that run east-west, which is huge because it draws in when the heat of the day rises on the east end of the valley. It draws in all the cool ocean air.
Wow.
And so that you end up having a very, very, very consistent growing season there. We were talking about you need to be near a large body of water, which holds and retains heat, and it moderates the temperatures in the vineyard, and also so it's very impactful for grapes like Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, which have a very they're very sensitive to big swings. They like having
they need temperate climate.
Yeah. So for me, this is great because I love working with these grapes. Pinot Noir is not an easy wine to make. It's a difficult grape to grow. It's very thin skinned. So idea being is that when you
sensitive.
Obviously, you get very sensitive. Yes, just makes you want to cry. So you get your color and your flavor from the skins in red wines, for anyone who's not familiar with that. So the thinner the skin, the lighter the wine is going to be. Lighter the flavor, lighter the color, lighter the structure. So Santa Maria Valley can grow some Pinot Noir with some fairly thick skins.
Okay.
And we let the grapes hang a little extra long in order to get those skins. And so you end up with wines that are very, very intense in flavor and smell. And something I love. I love working with Pinot Noir. Getting into French oak. I don't use bourbon barrels.
I didn't realize it was that difficult to grow. I didn't realize it was that temperamental.
It's temperamental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the clusters are tiny.
I love it because I feel like, it's so versatile. Like you can enjoy it with anything. Especially salmon.
It's probably the most versatile of the red wines out there. I mean, it works with fish, it works with fowl, duck, for example, turkey, and Pinot Noir.
Hells yeah, I'm going to have some for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right, let's give this a whirl.
All right.
Oh, that's nice. You
It's
can
balanced.
taste the strawberries.
It's got strawberries.
I swear you can taste the strawberries. And maybe that's just like the power of self-suggestion because I associate Santa Maria with strawberries.
And I think the flavors of the wine show that too. This has a couple of different vineyards that I blended in here. One very being tough and tonic, and the other one being very delicate and pretty and perfumey. And so strawberries, cherry cola, for example, Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper or something. Yeah. You can get those flavors and smells in here. But again, it works with red meat. It works with fish. It can work with fowl. So I think it's the most versatile red wine.
Mr. Pibb, that's a good call, and it is Dr. Pepper. What is that flavor?
What is the flavor?
Black cherry cola.
Is it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's like I remember as a kid they were like it's made with prune juice.
And that's
I'm
what
like,
I was
I
going to
kinda don't
say.
care.
So many
Like,
times
I
go
love it.
when I taste those kinds of wines, I'm thinking, is that prune I'm tasting? Because that is, it's kind of what. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. People pick certain grape varieties, which they pick a little overripe in order to get everything ripe. And you can get some pruny characters out
The
of it.
prune has such a bad repetation, and it's just like we love raisins.
It's medicinal.
We love dried apricots. It's a plum.
Why buy Metamucil? You've got.
So I have a question. Say people are always asking about wine breathing and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you're talking about, you might have this with your turkey at Thanksgiving. If you were going to open a nice bottle of Pinot before dinner, when would you open that?
Oh yeah, good question.
It depends on how old it is. This is still a fairly new wine, so you could actually open it maybe an hour. The risk, of course, opening it too early is that you're going to drink it before dinner. so the joke about
I might need just
I'm
a
using,
little
I
bit
use my wine to make dinner.
while I'm stirring the giblets.
Yeah. So if you want to be able to share it and enjoy your meal, I think Pinot Noir. Fresher Pinot Noirs are fine within the hour, and older Pinot Noirs, anything older than 5 years, I would open it as close to dinner as possible because it's
Interesting.
There's a window where it's really, really good.
Okay.
And we really want it to pop.
Gonna happen fast.
And I serve it chilled too.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir's got to be served around 50 degrees in
Yeah.
my
See,
opinion.
that's the thing. People don't realize. Like, they think red wine has to be room temperature.
Yeah,
And
it's
actually
fine if the room is 55 degrees. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because there's a reason that wines are in a cellar besides the potential for yeast waking up again.
Oh yeah,
But
we've all been there.
I know, but I really feel like, and that's part of the whole opening up process too. As a wine starts to catch room temperature too, it starts to wake up and do things. You know?
You just did my whole spiel for me.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all right. That's,
But it's true.
that is. And I will serve even Cabernet Zinfandel chilled, because as it warms up in the glass, as he said, it starts to do things.
Yeah.
And in this case, it starts to liberate certain aromas and flavors and smells and really exciting things. And if you really want to learn about wine, you should do that. Crack a bottle, that's cool, let it warm up, smell it every 30 seconds, and it's going to change. It's going to change over a 5-minute period. And that's the excitement for me. It's about trying to figure out a way to manage and manipulate those smells and flavors a year and a half down the road when I put the stuff in the bottle. I can try to make those changes in the vineyard. I can try to make them with the oak barrels that I use.
Yep.
I can try to influence them by what type of heavy metal I play in the winery. I don't know. I'm still experimenting with that.
I know, but there's
is a
so
really
much
nice
to be done there.
Pinot.
This is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
Here,
you.
I'm gonna just pour us each a little splash so we can toast our farewell. And people,
Where are we going?
we're going back to the cellar.
We're going to do a music and wine tasting.
Absolutely.
I was just starting to learn something.
Adam and Kix, thank you so much for
Thanks so
being
much
here,
for
sharing
having
your
us.
joy and expertise.
Appreciate it.
This has been awesome. So, everyone, if you have the chance, Fox News American Wine Club.
Yes.
These are incredible American wines, and now you compare them with your favorite music, and you can do the experiment and find out what you think pairs best. So, cheers to you, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Thanks, Kennedy, for
To
having me.
freedom. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Adam and Kix. I'm Kennedy.
Thank you for your service.
Amen.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.